You're listening to the We Are Libertarians podcast network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 441 of East Central's favorite podcast. Jeremiah Morrell here, joined by executive video producer, audio engineer, Mr. Zach Burcham.
Good evening.
Forrest Plank is back from his assignment in the Trump administration as an envoy to Asia.
Negative.
Oh, that's not what happened. Forrest Plank, welcome back.
Thank you.
In your pundit chair today.
Yeah.
Mr. Bones, you've never been accused of being an envoy for this country.
Never will be.
You didn't even leave the state.
Never.
But you do have some travel coming up.
Yes, we do.
All right.
Going to Kentucky?
And then past Kentucky to Tennessee to Georgia to South Carolina.
All right.
Sarah's never taken me to South Carolina. Mr. Bones is here. Forrest is here. Zach Burcham's here. I'm Jeremiah. We are going to do a show reviewing the election results from areas of interest. We spent the last 6-ish weeks covering a whole lot of local elections, Mr. Bones.
Long 6 weeks.
Starting to forget how we do anything other than that.
That was just primary season.
And there
I
are
had
races.
dental work in between.
And Bones was so frustrated. He's like, you know what? I'm going to have them take out 6 teeth, and I'm going to miss
That's
the
how
show.
painful this is.
Forrest went to China. Bones took some teeth out. Zach and I here for every second of it. But we're glad it happened. We're going to go over the results today. And then we'll get some sports at the end because everybody needs a little dessert. The shows are about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we'll provoke you, other times we'll make you laugh, but hopefully you'll always learn something new. Mr. Bones, we did a Patreon a minute ago.
We did a hell of a Patreon.
It was a super served extra points edition of a Patreon.
For the past 6 weeks, the Patreon's been kind of lacking.
It's been short.
Yeah.
Sometimes there was some awkwardness of people that didn't necessarily want to
be a part of that. Know exactly
We
what
have an
we were doing.
in-house on-camera audience with microphones that don't use them. Yeah, they're all scared to talk in the Patreon.
Yeah. There's just
It's
sometimes
a super secret society. Yeah.
Yeah, it's extra.
They don't understand that we're not that serious.
But you got your full mini marathon breakdown.
Yeah.
You got a few stories from my weekend, my nomadic life. And the folks that support that are the ones that support the show existing and being on the air.
These awesome individuals. Jonathan Phillips over at Ed Martin Honda in Indianapolis. We have Blake Reese over there at Varsity Outfitters making your team apparel and everyone else look good. Tommy Oakes over at Walnut Ridge RV. Who needs an RV for the summer?
Camping season has arrived.
Go see Tommy.
You want a camper because right now you need a furnace.
Unfortunately, death is upon us at all times. And if your loved ones have passed,
Miss Morrell is going to walk through that door in 5 seconds. So say it to her face, Mr. Bones.
I dare you.
Moral Monument Cleaning is there to make your loved ones look fresh and neat again.
When you turn in that car riding on Firestones for that tombstone, you want to keep it looking shiny and nice. Call Moral Monument Cleaning.
When she walks in, I'm going to have her sit down there and explain what she wants you to actually say.
Yeah, I was like, where is he going?
I'm going to explain to her what Trump is. Check Patreon. Then if you have that old bike or you just want a new bike that looks new, old bike that looks new again, go see Paul Recycle down there.
If you wanted to be an absolute lunatic and buy a new bike and have him make it look old, call Paul.
Yeah.
That's what Bones says.
Yeah.
Good job.
I know.
You're back in it. We do have to say thanks one last time to the sponsors of the candidate series. Those folks are Wyland's Flowers, Ink and Ale, and Muncie Farm and Fleet Repair. What they did is going to provide a lasting impact where the show is going to sound good and look good and be available on YouTube and Facebook for a long period of time. So their sponsorship goes a long way, and hopefully we can do something again with them this fall, assuming that we have some competitive races. Right now, we're doing the math. We got maybe a state rep race, maybe a state senate race, and a sheriff's race that are going to be there. So
okay,
we could have a 3-week candidate series this fall.
So as the complete outsider of this county, Henry County results, are we shocked?
Sheriff's, I think Sheriff was a bit surprising. I don't think any of us knew for sure what was going to happen with Sheriff. Prosecutor, not shocked, but there was. I don't
didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, prosecutor was one that I was like, I really thought that there was like most of the candidates had a pretty decent shot. But not shocked, not super shocked by any of them. I think the sheriff's race is probably the most surprising. But
I'm trying to watch the comments here as we get going and pull things up. Zach accused me of being a hot mess on Patreon.
Well, he just kept accusing there of being technical issues. So this is what he's doing. He's like, well, is this going on? And everybody else is like, nope. Oh, is this going on? Nope. It's just, he's the problem. He just kept asking about these issues, and he was the only one having issues. So
it's like a toddler pushing buttons.
I feel like Tom Griswold over here just trying to use new software. I've got a PDF reader that's not what I have at the office. And there for a minute, I didn't have the little hand. Do you guys have Adobe? Do you guys use Adobe at all?
I try not to because I hate.
Well, this is boomer talk.
Yeah. No, because every time
I hate new things.
Okay.
Just print it.
So at this point, it's like a Word doc. And if you just, I don't care what device I'm on. If I go to open it, it should just open. And sometimes if I'm on a computer or whatever, it's like you need to download Adobe Reader, and now you need to subscribe to that service. And so sometimes I find not PDFs themselves, but PDF readers to be like one of those things where it should just be built in. I shouldn't have to worry about it. They're not special anymore.
Did we all share this today? We got a very good crowd watching already, by the way. We're doing well.
Yeah, we
with
are
that.
doing well.
All right, so let's get into it. I think the most anticipated result was going to be what happened in the sheriff's race. Prosecutor we'll get to in a few minutes, but the Henry County Sheriff's race was a very hotly contested, and the general sense from the public was that was where everybody wanted to go. So we had 5 candidates. Jim Nicholson did win, not to bury the lead. 2,408 votes were cast for Jim Nicholson out of 5,889. Sheriff Sproles finished second, 1,720. Third place was Jason Williams, 1,216 votes. And then Randy Howard wound up with 343 and Craig Ring 133. As I kind of looked at this, it was, you had 3 professional police officers, and then you had 2 non-police folks that were running. You had Sheriff Sproles, and then you had 2 alternatives that were legitimate life career cops. Randy Howard ran a campaign that I think everybody's going to remember forever and ever and ever and ever. He did a great job of putting Sheriff Sproles on his heels going into the race. He was one of the first people. I think he may have been the first candidate to announce. And he is an admin for a Facebook group that has 20,000 members. And right as the filing window opened, that was when you had the Nicholas Gully situation happening in the jail. Led to a lot of media attention, and the timing of this race, that happening between January and May, was like a perfect storm. And I don't know that Randy Howard ever seriously thought he was going to win this primary, but he did enough to inflict damage on John Sproles when he had already had a very difficult couple of years with tort claims and other things, that it opened the window up for the Nicholsons and the Williams. That's the takeaway I had.
Yeah.
And then it was a question of, okay, if the general public wanted to make a change, what was it going to be? Was it going to be Williams or Nicholson? And that was just the race of, okay, these two just really getting after it. Here comes folks in.
That's Daniel.
The New York
Hello,
and
Morrell family.
California family is popping in.
Oh,
The good news is he's brought his chaperone, so he should keep his pants on today.
Welcome.
How are you?
They just keep filing. Oh, we got a dog.
We got a whole crew. Welcome. Come on in, guys. The live seats. Still more. All right. We're gonna try to carry on here for a minute. Mr. Bones, you sat through and saw the you were here to see that, or at least on via television.
Via television,
yes.
Right. Hey, you right here.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
We actually, Mr. Bones does watch you. We were just talking about you on page in the Patreon read. So please have. No, yeah, that's what we want to. We'd like you
We just want to
some-
verify.
We'll get back to this in a moment. Joyce is my mother and also one of the patrons. Pull that mic around close to you so we can hear from you. Yeah, you must. Bones, help her out with that if you don't mind.
You put me through hell Saturday night, so I'm going to do the same to you.
Oh, you got the point already.
I got the point several years ago.
You got to talk into the mic or it's not going to work. There you go. All right. So, Mr. Bones was doing your read a moment ago. Were you watching the live feed? Okay.
It was one of the better ones.
How would you like him to promote moral monument cleaning? Because I think he's creative in his pitch, in the copy,
autistic way.
but I don't know what you want it to be per se.
Well, I can tell you that I don't clean dead people. So don't.
And
say
Well,
that
we have
yet.
passed that,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. I didn't listen to today's. Would you redo it?
Yeah.
Reread it.
Okay. Mr. Bones, we have to say thanks to moral monument cleaning.
Unfortunately, death is upon us, and your loved ones' headstones need cleaned every once in a while. And moral monument cleaning is there to help along the way.
Yes, we are.
Any notes?
No, that was actually the best I've ever heard.
Told you.
That was great. You have improved so much.
I thought you'd clean dead people at first, okay? I didn't know.
Don't work for monsters
Or Todd's.
or Todd's.
There could be a job opportunity, though. Just saying.
No.
You get them before they go in and after.
No. Where did you find this?
Where did
Rush
I find
County.
Rush County.
I found Bones the election day 2011 bothering me at a polling place.
He could have been bothering me. Anyways, you remember how to play euchre now?
Want to play?
Yeah.
Did you bring cards?
No, I appreciate your help. That was great. I've always wanted to learn. You know, we almost won the whole thing.
It was a blast, let me tell
We
you.
lost by one game.
After I left,
Yeah, we
Oh.
won every game.
my head hurt. I had to go home.
Was it the wine, Bones?
Well, it was, you had to follow Trump. No.
You triggered me. That's what happened. That's exactly
So
what happened.
Joyce, did you start winning after Bones left?
No,
No,
they lost.
I think
That chair's missing a wheel.
No, I think he helped with the first game we won. Second game, he kind of said bye on halfway through and said, "You're on your own," and we won that one. Then we won another one, and then we lost to Dan. And
You lost to Dan,
yeah, who was Dan's partner?
Rosie.
Any thoughts on the sheriff's race? Henry County.
Congratulations. It was a great race, clean race.
There are, I don't know, a dozen people that walked in. We have a small mini family reunion that's happening, so we got a tour going on as well. You don't have to stay for the
I was
balance of the
gonna
show.
say,
Am I done now?
Yeah,
leave.
unless you have anything else.
No.
Unless you want to stay, you're more.
You're welcome to hang out.
Yeah.
You're a golden patron. You can stay as long as you want to.
You don't want my
You're the
opinion.
OG Patreon. I mean, you gave birth to him.
She cleans dead people.
If you want your dead people cleaned, what phone number should they call?
765-561-2132.
All right. Thank you for being a good sport.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to be on the show real quick before we get back to the regularly scheduled programming? Danny, you good over there? All right.
Where were we?
Jeremiah has no idea where
We
he's
were
at.
Henry County
In
Sheriff.
space and time.
We were.
He's lost.
Yeah, we're going to
Randy Howard disrupted the race.
So Randy Howard, 343 votes. Craig Ring, 133. And those I would categorize those probably as your protest votes. It really was a decision of whether or not it was going to be Williams or Nicholson getting the anti-Sproles. I honestly thought that it was going to be diluted enough that you may have seen John Sproles continue on.
I was surprised by the margin of victory.
I was too.
Like I wasn't expecting a 700 vote win.
Yeah, it's a big number. And then there was the way that they put these numbers together on the county website. You got to tab through all the Republicans to get to the Democrat side. We did have a Democrat primary as well for sheriff, but there weren't nearly as many votes cast on that side.
That ballot was nearly empty. I pulled a Democrat ballot, and it was a lot of next.
But imagine how much influence you had, Zach, on that.
I had a lot of influence. My vote really mattered.
We took a poll from this room.
Yeah. Yeah. It was about what it felt like. I think we all could just go in the back room of the Arts Center and just hash it out right there like a little constitutional convention.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Just you and the coffee clutch. Where the hell? I don't even see. I see everything but sheriff here listed for the Democrats. Clerk, auditor, recorder, treasurer. There it is. So yeah, David Bockover had 845 and Landon Dean 516. So that was about a 300 vote difference, but only 1,419 votes cast in that one.
Yeah, you guys could have just there at the field house.
So we could have done the middle school gym. We didn't need the field house.
Church Street gym.
Could have had the whole primary in the field house.
Well, social distancing and everything.
Oh, we got easy. Yeah, we got really social.
David
distancing.
Bockover's vote total would have been fourth amongst those cast.
It's actually surprising for a countywide race.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Excited to see that race in the fall. Jim Nicholson is probably a very heavy favorite going in.
Sure.
Because it's just an uphill battle for any Democrat. But we'll see. The
prosecutor's race was a little shocking to me.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second. I wanted to also say that
I thought you just needed to.
No, you're good.
Segue. Thought you were lost again.
No, I'm good. I've recovered. I'm ignoring the live audience. Sproles is going to be somebody that's remembered for a very long time in this county, and the influence he had in his first term as sheriff.
Won't the lawsuits kind of establish that?
That's one of the things going to be remembered for sure. But also, a lot of his deputies were supporting him on election day, where they were out at polling places, and they had significant pay raises, a lot more brass structure. There's a legacy there that I think you're going to see going forward from improved paychecks for folks. In spite of the headwinds that he had in the lawsuits and the personality conflicts, there were a hell of a lot of improvements on the staffing side and on the payroll side for that department. That's going to carry on beyond his term.
So, thoughts? You go back 15 years prior to Facebook being mainstream. John Sproles win this election?
Yeah, I think there was a lot more awareness this time than you've had in previous years.
Yeah, I think so, because you wouldn't have think about all the videos of the Gully situation.
Yep.
Nobody would have seen those unless they were on the news. Same thing with there was an incident, which I don't think is remotely as controversial to kind of other in the spectrum, like a couple weeks ago in front of the truck stop that was all over Facebook. That person was super aggressive, was in the chat for one of these episodes being super aggressive, one of the people involved in that, and none of that would have happened. So yeah, it would just be...
You had the beanbag incident?
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff, and it'd have been a lot harder for people to rehash that the way that they did without social media.
I'm so easily distracted. I am so easily distracted right now.
Is highly kicking in.
Yeah. The Courier Times publishes twice a week now, right? This podcast, other local media folks, individual content creators are a lot of the media cycle for these local elections now. Yeah, if this was 10 years ago and you had a newspaper that published twice a week, totally different.
Yep.
I think you have a very different result. And Jim Nicholson ran a hell of a campaign. 4 years ago, Forrest, I know you did some work on the percentage of folks that turned out, but Jim Nicholson was he came in last. It was
Yeah.
very evenly split. But of all the candidates, he had the lowest vote total.
Yeah,
And he turned it around and got the highest this time, with Sproles and Williams both in the race.
with the highest voter turnout in this cycle of offices that we've seen since 2010. So, good job, Jim. And if you look at what was in the limelight, Jim wasn't in the limelight through any of this. Like he kept his nose clean.
Very much. And we had our episode, and Williams and Nicholson, I both thought, had very real opportunities to separate themselves from John Sproles when they were on here. And there was a lot of, there weren't, neither one of them took great opportunities to separate themselves and create space and say, hey, here's why, if John Sproles is a problem, here's the reason why I should be the one to replace them. But it obviously connected with the voters.
I wonder if, going back on the Randy Howard thing, maybe he just figured he didn't have to because Randy was going to do it for him. And Randy had a big, long diatribe on Facebook after our episode where he picked apart a bunch of stuff, and it blew up in his face in his own Facebook group. But you didn't really have to throw any mud or even do much because we have a couple people on social media that were just doing that like as a job, it felt like, between him and Chris Bilbrey. And Bilbrey might be listening, but they both were just going at Sproles at every opportunity. So maybe they could just sit back and just like, oh, we'll let him get destroyed by somebody else.
Definitely one of the most memorable eras of Henry County politics that we've had the pleasure of covering.
Pleasure is a strong word. Pleasure is a very
I don't know. I was
word.
really looking forward to another fall sheriff.
You're going to go fly.
We will have a fall one. It's going to be Bachover and Nicholson.
It won't be nearly as entertaining as 4 years ago, though.
And we'll see if there are any independent or libertarian candidates that find their way onto the ballot. Nothing is final until.
Do you think
until
anyone
July.
will jump in as an independent?
I think that everybody is. My general sense is that folks are going to be okay with the options they have this fall. It's not so egregious that somebody says, "Oh, I cannot live."
I don't think there's any contention on the Democrat side. So I don't think any people that were supporting Landon Dean will be like, "Oh, I'm not going to support that guy."
Not with 500 votes.
No, and he's got himself a little niche. Although I think he's done with Nicetown. Did they hire?
Yeah,
they hired
John Davis.
I mean, this is a guy who was popular enough to come. He was running 2 police departments at the same time at different corners of this county. I think Jim and Mr. Bachover are going to be fine too. Like that'll be a fairly civil episode. I doubt anybody shows up and parks outside for that one. So
I don't know. There could be drama.
You never know. We'll see if they bring in folders.
Prosecutor race, Mr. Bones, very close. 5,800 votes cast. Christy Brock is the winner, narrowly beating Tony Saunders, 1,519 to 1,479. That's about a 20 vote margin either way.
Yeah. 20
votes flipped from Brock to Saunders, and he's the Republican nominee. Kyle Allen is the other candidate that crossed over 1,000. Kathy Eakey 922 and Jeremy Bell 714. I didn't know what to expect in that race.
I think that was probably the most balanced race that there was.
Yeah. It's Christy Brock had prosecutor experience.
Yep.
Was the nicest person that I've ever met in the history of lawyers on the show.
Or anybody, maybe. She knitted you something.
She did. She left after the show was over. I had a parting gift, and it was for our soon to be baby, which has been dubbed by the family over there, Baby Bear. A little hat, a knitted hat. So that was an amazing gift. Don't know that right now there is no Democrat filed to run.
Probably won't be.
Wouldn't expect there to be. So there's a very likely chance that Christy Brock will be the next prosecutor for the county. And we wish her all success. She was magnanimous when she made her post after, said that all the attorneys that were wonderful and we should all use them for private practice.
Her you can even call it celebratory. She didn't say anything about herself or like thank you, but her post in acceptance of the win was probably the nicest and classiest post I've ever seen by a winning candidate.
I think it was professional.
Yeah. But I mean, like beyond, and she's in a unique situation, but she's like, go hire these people for your like legal needs or whatever. They're all good people. And I was like, holy cow. I read that and I was like, good golly, this is the nicest post I've ever seen from somebody for winning an election. Because it wasn't like, thanks to everybody for, she never actually said, I won, or thanks for the voters. It was just a post about all the people she ran against and how nice it was and how good of attorneys they are. So that was.
County clerk, I failed to put this in the notes today as I was scribbling stuff down on the way through. But county clerk, Rachel Parnham did win 5,889 votes once again. I'm starting to understand how these numbers work, Bones. The undervotes mean the total votes that could have been cast, and they dropped down slightly. So their 433 didn't vote.
Okay.
Parnham 41, and BJ Zapffe 13-15. BJ was a real underdog in this race. He's an outsider.
You have an insider to that office. It's tough for anyone to beat him.
All right, and you guys can go out that door if you want to. You're good.
Yeah.
Love you all. We'll see you Friday. The family is departing. Uncle Gary is excited about the hockey. Gary, you can stay if you want to watch hockey.
Yeah.
We'll get you home later. You're welcome to watch Buffalo 2, Montreal 1. Go Habs. He's completely decked out in Buffalo Buffalo merch. I wasn't surprised by that one, but BJ really did work hard at that race and gave it an effort. I can't remember a time where we've had contested races in the primary for any of these, but for treasurer, for clerk, for auditor, any of those races. But all the credit to him for actually jumping in the race and trying to make something happen.
And he did a great job on the episode, because it is rough to come on the show even and with somebody who's in the office and in all the questions we can come up with, she could answer them a lot. And he's like, I'm not sure, I'm not in there yet. But he's not lying, but it doesn't mean he can't do it. And I've heard
the same thing when you're talking to a council candidate or a commissioner candidate, where if you don't have the visibility of serving in the office or working in that office, it is a tough. He talked about, hey, there are no guys working in there in a glass ceiling or whatever. It is a tough barrier to break into those spaces.
And I think that conversation was very similar to the Democratic sheriff conversation, where it was heavily dominated by one side because of the experience in the role or similar to the role.
And with some of those offices, I heard this from somebody who was in one of those elected positions at one point. They said, like, you can go into that job not knowing what's going on, because in a lot of situations, the person who's in charge, the elected official, and this is, man, I'm not telling them this is the way that they all operate. Their presence is almost optional at times. Like, they can just be removed from the equation and the office is still running. There's employees that know what they're doing. And so even if you get elected, if you were to be elected, he probably would just know, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to observe for a bit, I'm going to learn, and then I'll learn to manage it. But it's not like you elect somebody to one of those jobs and they haven't been in it, that the whole office is going to come to a screaming halt. The office is going to run the way the office is running. It's built with an elected figurehead that isn't necessarily required for the office to function long term, in terms of, like, they can get their feet wet. But he did a good job.
County Commissioner North, Steve Duggar is your winner, 3,048 votes to 2,509 for Chase Heinhold. I don't know. The county doesn't give us math on here, and I didn't plug all this into a spreadsheet to get percentages, but that's roughly 50, 58, 42, somewhere in there. I honestly kind of thought that race was going to go the other way, just from a prediction standpoint. Talked to the staff here, and, I'd heard maybe there was a little bit of polling out there, and Heinhold had been leading a poll, perhaps. Steve Duggar ran a great grassroots style campaign, kind of an old school campaign, going to the breakfast, showing up at things, being visible, having been a county council person up until 8 years ago and kind of got swept out in the wind mess.
So how much of that do you think was name recognition?
I think that's probably some of it. Chase Heinhold comes from a very prominent family, but the Heinhold name is new here.
Yeah.
And they did a great job of getting, direct mailers, text messages, holding events, but it takes a few cycles to really get that background. And if you're not super active in visible parts of the community, it just takes time. That's it. I mean, it's an incredible to come within 500 votes of winning a county commissioner seat your first time running for anything that's a great run. But people pick Steve Duggar.
54.8% to 45.2.
Yeah, that's very close.
Yeah.
So far, that race doesn't have anybody challenging in the North for the fall from the Democrat side. As contentious as land use things become, I would not be shocked to see a Democrat candidate get fielded because data centers and everything else that happen, that is a wildly powerful spot, powerful position in the county.
I love the last 2 weeks, all the AI generated artwork and being against data centers, not realizing that it's data centers fueling that artwork.
Oh my god!
I did set the locals on fire on primary day with that little post.
And it wasn't like that happened like one day. It happened over. I mean, one of the anti-AI groups shared a whole video that was AI created, like of a fictional council meeting somewhere. And
I don't know. I don't know that was fictional or not. I thought it was, but then it got sent to me so many times that I don't know what's real or not real anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even if it's not the AI stuff, just Facebook and all that stuff that's all running through the same servers.
Forrest has given up on us.
Yeah. We're going to go back to China.
County treasurer. This was an interesting race. This last week, Lisa Lovelace was with us on. Did we do that? I don't even know. I've lost days, Zach. I guess that was Monday of last week, and then so it was 8 days before the election. James E. Baker, not the former U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, was the opponent. He did not campaign in any way. So this is like a generic name on a ballot versus somebody that showed up and worked really hard to run for office, and Lisa Lovelace.
I have to say, if you were aware that there was a treasurer named James Baker and you were confused by that, please send us a message right on the wall, because I had no idea. And that was Jeremiah going hyper political nerd on everybody in this show.
You didn't know that?
No.
He was like a Bush era,
Which Bush?
Both. He was so popular, the Bush was
I was in like high school during the Bush administrations. First Bush, I was 6.
We're going to Google him here. Born in 1930.
By the way, he's a third. He's not James Baker. He's James Baker the
third.
Hey, Zach,
how long has he been dead?
If you had to guess, what year did James Baker die?
You said Bush too, though. He was under W.
Yeah.
I'll say 2006.
Still living. 96 years old.
Holy cow!
Still with us. He could have been the guy. We didn't know.
Yeah.
We're off track now.
Mr. Madison from the last week's episode, he's like Secretary of State during the Reagan and Bush era.
So he was the chief of staff 92 to 93 for Bush. He was the chief of staff for Ronald Reagan as well. He was the Secretary of State 89 to 92 and the Treasury Secretary 85 to 88. Secretary of Commerce. This guy was
I was 3 to 6 years old.
An absolute lifer in the cabinet. He's the cabinet.
By the way, he was a Democrat before 1970.
So was Mike Braun.
So was Donald Trump.
Secretary of the Commerce in the 70s. But I think he was one of the guys when George Bush sued, the 2000 recount, when George Bush won the presidency in Florida.
Thanks to Chad.
He was the guy.
Hanging Chad.
He was the guy that the Bushes
better than a hanging Jeffrey.
Argue before the Supreme Court. So this is where James Baker wound up back on the radar.
I swear, people, we will get through this.
No, I'm not easily distracted at all, guys. I don't have to be. I'm on vacation this week. I'm good.
It is.
I gotta wake up around 5 in the morning.
It is a little bit depressing when somebody gets that many votes.
It's a paper candidate,
and
it's a classic paper candidate.
He found another job, right, and decided he didn't want to do the treasurer's.
I haven't heard that publicly anywhere, but if you want to say that into the microphone, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just going.
That's alleged.
That's why I've heard. I'm just. I'm not putting my name on it.
Allegedly. I don't know anything about him. Never met him. I texted him. Never heard back. He was invited on the program as everybody in a contested race was. I will say, in the contested races that were on the Henry County and the Rush County ballot, the winning candidates all appeared on this program.
No, they didn't.
The winning candidates.
No, they didn't.
Who didn't?
We didn't have the Rush County judge race on the show.
Oh, that
Of
doesn't.
the races we had,
Okay.
the winning candidates were
Okay.
on this program.
So
Mr.
future
Baker-
politicians.
Mr. Baker was not here. Randy Howard was not here. Chase Heinhold was not here. Just saying.
I'm just saying
We communicated with them all, but winners drink milk in May, and they come on the show. All right, that's that one. Henry County District 4. I will try to pick up the pace because y'all are yelling at me for taking too long. But we've waited all year for this.
We've waited
This
4 years for this.
This is Jeremiah's Christmas, guys. We got 500 and primaries all in 1 month.
Joe Blackburn won with 69.1% of the vote over Levi Simmons.
I really hope the Republicans find a way to keep Levi Simmons involved.
That's what you hope for a lot of these, is it's the people that get involved. 'Cause sometimes you feel bad. They'll be, and you're like, man, these are all good people.
They were buddies. They showed up together. I think they traveled together to campaign events. Levi RSVP'd on Joe's behalf for the show. They were peas in a pod, and I hope that they continue to do that well.
And I don't mean this in the worst way, any way possible, but I don't think Levi's going anywhere anytime soon. I think he's going to be a name in Henry County for a while.
I think he'll be around.
Yeah. He wanted to be state senator from here. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere.
I think
that was his dream job.
I think Joe Blackburn is going to likely do very well. That's probably the most Republican of the 4 council seats covering the eastern part of the county. Spiceland all the way around the Big C, around Newcastle and up towards the Summit Lake area. I don't know that you'll see a Democrat in that one this fall. We will see over in the 3rd district a contested race there, and maybe 1 or 2. Clint Walker got a win as well. He's watching the show. He won the primary against nobody to replace Ken and Gray, who's retiring. So that's that one. All right, let's talk. Let's switch gears real quick here. Those are the Henry County ones. I know that's the majority of our audience is Henry County related, but Rush County doesn't have a newspaper anymore, and it was probably time that we gave them.
There's
some
no
love.
more Rushville Republican.
Rushville Republican does not exist.
It's been going for a while.
That newspaper
absorbed.
just magically showed up in my mailbox once a week when I was a kid.
Got absorbed.
They sent it up to Henry County.
What a business model. Can't imagine why it went wrong.
You got Forrest's money. You just get a surrounding county.
They got
newspaper.
They got absorbed by the Greensburg Observer. I don't know.
Did you say Clint's last name wrong?
What did I say?
I don't know, but I don't think you said Weaver.
I thought I said Weaver.
No. He said Weaver, and I think I heard it too. You said something different.
did.
Sorry, Clint.
Yeah.
You're a friend of the show.
Did I say Boyer?
No,
No.
It was definitely not Boyer.
No.
I thought I said Weaver. We're on vacation this week. We've had a third of a Cutwater lime margarita so far. So my apologies if we failed on that. The family is gone, so we're locked in now.
Jeremiah's brain right now is like a gerbil in one of those exercise wheels on like meth.
John Madison said that you said Clint Walker.
You did say Walker.
Well, we were talking about George Herbert Walker Bush and his administration.
So did Lisa Lovelace. The entire
Clint called you out on it too.
All right, fine. I was wrong.
the entirety of the Republican leadership
W.
structure is coming down on Jeremiah.
Hey, did you get that siphoned off that?
Hey, Clint.
Hey, I was wrong.
Time out, Clint. Have you thought about running as a walker? Maybe you wouldn't have lost last time. Okay.
Oh,
That's cold, man. That's cold.
Well,
It's called. I'm going to change my name. Maybe I'll win.
Wait till your power goes out and he didn't come and vote you out.
Love you, buddy.
I'm not messing with the Weavers. They can make your life real hard in
I
multiple
live
ways.
in the district. I might put a Walker for council sign in my yard. Just pick a W. W's for winners. Rush County.
yes.
We had 3 gentlemen that came on. Very, very very good choices for Rush County for sheriff.
Yes, they were.
And it was a great night we got to spend with them. Brent Horton was the winner. 49% of the vote, 1,422. That would have finished in second or third place in the Henry County totals. How come you don't have more people in Rush County?
Because we're lovely people down there, and we keep people out like some of the people you guys just allow in here at Henry County.
I don't think they throw nearly as many people in jail, so
No.
I think that'd be a plus to be down there.
Brent Horton is your winner. The second and third place were extremely close. Matt Hedrick wound up second, 735 votes. Doug Keith, 701. Doug Keith, he announced that he will be retiring from the sheriff's department. So he is, I think they have 10 officers, and I think they have 3 openings right now, and that'll be a 4th.
Yes, we just had
going to be a lot of turnover for the Rush County Sheriff's Department. So Brent Horton, rather. I'm looking at this, and it's the order they're listed. Brent Horton is going to have his opportunity to put a big stamp on the Rush County Sheriff's Department. But it seems like those folks all get along really well. So
there's a picture of them all hugging that night.
Well, that episode was hilarious because no matter which way Jeremiah went, by the time you got to the third guy, they're like, well, they already said everything I was going to say. Like, I mean, there was a lot of separation, but at the same time, you felt like they all were smart about what. There weren't like wholesale changes that needed to be made or anything. So they're like, oh, they'll mold things, but not, significantly.
If you want to see a sheriff's race run very nicely and lightly, just look south to Rush County, because that was they never said one bad word about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I did go through Shelby County a lot this primary season. There was somebody that finished second that had their last name was a P, and they stole the Purdue logo.
They did.
The guy finished second. He did not win.
Well, that's typical Purdue.
Yeah. I had my wife check when I was driving through one time. The guy went to Valparaiso or to Vincennes. He did not. He's not a Purdue grad. I'm like, okay, if he was a Purdue grad, I give him some credit for it. But it was a bit of stolen valor situation.
And also
shout out Tara Laird. She won the clerk down there, personal friend.
I don't think it's a good year to go Purdue on your stuff if you're living south of 70.
It's not a good year to go Purdue anytime.
The other random sheriff's race, and this is only because of my IndyCar connections, there's a guy named Dixon in Hamilton County who did win, and he went with the Scott Dixon PNC.
He was 100% rolling PNC colors on a sign. It was 100% he was.
Brand recognition.
I was
Genius.
tired of seeing those, I'm telling you.
I mean, it was Jeremiah showed it to us, and I was like, oh, I should tweet at him. And then you realize that, nope, everybody has already done it. Like Doug Bull's wife, president of the track, president of IndyCar, she had posted about it. Like, everybody in Hamilton County was like, what's up with this guy who's trying to run as Scott Dixon for sheriff? But
Mr. Bones, the race that you called correctly last week, the judge for Superior Court in Rush County, David Thompson, won over Lee Morning. Lee Morning was the incumbent, but she had not been elected. She was an appointed judge.
Correct.
David Thompson is a buddy of yours.
Yes, he is.
And the biggest takeaway I had with you is that he's not from Rushville.
He's not. And neither is Horton, which makes these two races wildly weird.
Really? Rush County actually let outsiders win?
We allow outsiders to win. I mean, of a county of 10,000 people, maybe, if you're not from there, you don't.
Yeah, those roots run deep.
I thought the same thing about Henry County, and then we elected Ed Tarantino from New Jersey as county commissioner. So it does happen. But that's impressive. So he's from Chicago.
From northern Indiana.
Okay. Yeah. The region.
The region, I believe. But he's not from Rush County and has not been here very long.
Wow.
But that's an exciting result for Rush County to be thoughtfully looking at people that are not that didn't go to Rushville High School.
No, and we
or Knightstown.
We went to his party and had a glass of Pappy with him to celebrate.
Big Bourbon Club guy.
He's a really great dude, so I think Rush County did well in electing him. I don't think we'll have anybody oppose him in the fall.
You only have 3 attorneys in the county.
I think we have 10.
They can't just timeshare the gig.
One's prosecutor, one's judge, one's the defense attorney. They have to just
every quarter they rotate one position over. Just like, okay, we'll just switch.
That's why an outsider won. They had to bring in some new blood.
Needed somebody fresh. U.S. Congress over here, Jefferson Shreve won, but it was incredibly close. Incredibly close. It was normally these kinds of races come along and it's like NBC News predicts with 2% of the vote in that it's done. Shreve, I think it was like down to about 85% of the vote was in and they still hadn't called him as the winner. And it wound up being about a 2%, 4% margin. It was extremely close.
And I think he still won every county.
I was looking at Shelby, Rush, and Henry, and it was very the total that he wound up with percentage wise was very close in that 56, 44, 58, whatever, 48, 52 range.
He was 53-1 to 46-9.
Yeah.
And but I know at one point when I looked at it, it was 59-41%. It was, and that was like it pretty late, and then it bumped a little bit after that. I mean, what's funny is according to the state website, there's still 6.3% of districts who haven't reported yet. It actually says 93.7, but
that is a very low information race as far as who the challenger was. It was the classic two-way race where Jefferson Shreve is your incumbent, and then it was Sarah something is what people saw and like, I throw the bums out. I don't want that person. So that's what they did. Shreve had a comment. His official statement from the campaign today was, it's difficult serving in a Congress that Gallup has at a 10% approval rating. I understand frustration many voters feel, and I share it. But I'm committing to confronting our challenges head on and advancing practical solutions. I'm grateful to have won the 11 counties that I represent. I deeply appreciate the trust voters in the Indiana 6th District have placed in me. I'll continue working tirelessly to deliver results for the 6th District and all Hoosiers. That is a post. It's just, thanks, guys. I know you're mad at everybody. Unreal.
Who was the challenger?
Sarah Janice Brown.
She's a homeschool mom with a lot of children, stay-at-home mom, I believe, and very much from the homesteading community side. Totally different than a Jefferson Shreve.
Yeah, millionaire entrepreneur. She got over 24,000 votes. Like, that's a significant number of people to vote for you.
There were no yard signs. There were no TV commercials for her.
I didn't know that race.
There was.
I don't know. I never even saw a Jefferson sign.
That's purely you're the incumbent and you got to go.
Yeah. And that's if there had been just a tiny bit of money, that could have been a flip.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that is oh my God. Yeah. Like that is a very vulnerable spot to be for Shreve. I think he's probably pretty I don't know. Maybe the Republicans are in trouble this fall. I think J.D. Ford's going to have a very good chance. He beat Jackson Franklin, who was with us last fall in the show when the redistricting stuff was coming about. We were in a potential map for the 5th. We had Jackson Franklin on the show. J.D. Ford wound up winning that seat, who's a state senator. He's going to be in the contest and very well may win the 5th congressional seat. That's Hamilton County, Madison County, Delaware County. If the blue wave is coming that potentially could be coming, maybe Shreve's in trouble. I'd be shocked if he is, but the 5th district very well may be.
I don't even know if we can tell at this point because we don't there's so much that can happen just in the world between now and then.
We don't know who will be at war.
And I think we're on. Yeah, I think we're kind of like on a knife edge at this point. I mean, if we get to November and gas is still $4.75 a gallon or whatever, I bet
at this rate, gas is going to be 8 something, 9 something.
It's dropped a tick.
It should be dropping. Indiana went over up $1 a gallon last week, and it was obviously the Iran stuff, but also we had some issues with the local refinery in that services our area. So there were multiple issues, but Indiana was like the epicenter for the shit.
But I think there was some news that came out today that they're extending the the gas tax cut and
Braun is, yes.
and
Excise.
cut in the excise also. So we should see a little bit of reprieve, but we're still some of the highest in the country.
You can do that for a little while, but at some point, there's no road fixing money.
And I drove 70.
We do
today,
so
and
much
it's
of it
more.
now.
You watch what happens when we stop fixing it, Forrest.
Here, hold my beer.
I'll be honest. I'll give them I'll give them a tiny bit of credit. NDOT's fixing stuff on 70. There was a section near Newcastle where it wasn't a pothole. The road was collapsing
Right before Blue River?
Yeah, and in the slow lane, and they cut it out and fixed it. I don't know when they did it. I never saw it being done
They
with
never
like
painted the lines.
commute
but
to
they got it
work.
fixed.
Yeah, that's a different story. But there are sections where there's a couple of rough sections a couple of years ago that I knew from going to and from work and stuff that they're slowly taking care of. But when you're putting in patches that are like a quarter mile long, it's time to repave.
Yeah,
we're not on that list.
One other story that we need to get into.
This one's going to be interesting.
That may be a problem.
slight issue.
Knightstown. So we have vote centers. So you can go vote anywhere you want to. You don't just go to your home polling place and have a certain ballot that shows up.
What do we have, like 12?
There are 12 vote centers in the county, and you could go to any one. There was one in Knightstown. There Cat is. Newcastle had like 7 of them, whatever. But you could go to any one of them and vote. And they pull up the ballot that is assigned to your home precinct at that spot. Back in the day, you had 41 polling places, and everybody had a ballot that matched up to the polling place you were at. Something happened, and I don't have full visibility into it, but multiple people have reported that if you lived in the township that Knightstown is in, so you lived in the same area as Knightstown, but not in town limits, including like all the way up to like the Knightstown lakes that are north of I-70. So I guess maybe everything in Wayne Township. Everybody was getting the Knightstown town races on their ballot. Normally not a problem, but it's probably always a problem, but it's a big freaking problem because Carla Gorman had 238 votes. Bart Whitsett, who is the incumbent, had 235. So the incumbent lost by 3 votes when God only knows how many people that shouldn't have had that ballot got to vote in that. So they show up not on their prospective ballot, and then they go, I don't know, I guess I'll vote for Carla Gorman. She's the top of the ballot. Go with her. She won by 3 votes. I don't know. It's a low information race for me. I'm not from Knightstown. We didn't cover this race. It also happened with the town council at large race as well.
So how many votes should have been cast for actual town positions?
It's a great question. I don't know that this report is even correct. They show that there were 31 undervotes. I don't know.
I think the most interesting thing is that we didn't hear anything about it until everything was done. And then they're like, oh, wait, we have this issue.
No one said, hey, for some reason I was able to vote for this race.
Well, I'm a little shocked that they didn't have like somebody.
It didn't come up in the early voting that went on for weeks.
Or like did a vote, maybe they voted early and it wasn't an issue there. I don't know. I think the last time I voted early, obviously things have changed. I don't even think I use the electronic thing. I think they gave me like a paper ballot or something back then. But
if you early vote now, it's just like the same experience you have.
Machine.
You print it, you put it in an envelope, and it goes in.
But I put mine in a trash can through a scanner on the day of.
So if you go early vote, you do the same thing. If you vote on the day of, do you put it in an envelope?
I did that once, but
do you still put it in an envelope,
nope.
or you just put it right?
You put it in the machine and it's gone.
Put it in the machine and it's gone. All right, that's right.
But I'm surprised that like a poll worker didn't like vote that morning, like when they showed up or whatever, and they were like, "Oh wait." Like, yeah, I'm just a little surprised that wasn't something that they, like, you just kind of, you heard, okay, we need to fix this and get this, because it's got to just be checkbox. Like, it's almost, to me, feels like it has to be, you load all the elections, and then somehow there's a system that determines, okay, these, and it's like checkboxes of these people get these races or something. But yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, and they said there had to be a special election. Apparently, you can't go back through and just check the ballots and strike the ones that should have been doing that.
I think the only fair way, unless there's no challenge, which I would be shocked if there isn't a challenge, is 3 votes. I think
You
you
have
have
to
to
just
go
run it
back
again.
through and
again.
run it again, unless they can isolate out the folks that should have had
Yeah.
that precinct only, which
So then
I don't know that they have
who
that
foots
visibility.
the bill to run that election? Because to run,
It's the county. I would imagine the county, and maybe, I don't know. That's a great question, Forrest. I would suspect that it's the elections are administered by the clerk's office, which is the county. Does the town do it? I don't know. Does the town say, hey, we trusted the county to run our election. You guys screwed it up. So this is the county's problem, the clerk's office's problem. Obviously, you're getting a new clerk. I don't know. And I don't know how quickly you reschedule this either. It's a primary. This is, I don't know. This is wild.
Yeah. Especially just little nice town just down there.
so in the chat, John Madison said the issue was discovered during the day but couldn't be fixed on the fly. More to come.
There's no fixing that at the day of because people have been voting along the way.
Yep.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. But you think though about, how many different, you said back in the day there were 41 polling places with 41 different ballots. Like how many different ballot combinations are there for just Henry County? So,
All kinds.
Yeah.
Because if you look, you have in and out, right? You have your township and you have your precinct, and then your precinct has in and out, whether in town or out of town, in this school district, in that school district. There are all kinds of weird oddities.
And honestly, a lot of people, when they show up to vote, they don't know 100% of the races that they get to vote on.
No.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people who don't understand anything that's going on with their electoral process.
Why can't I find Greg Pence on this ballot?
Where's Trump? I have a question for Bones, because Bones is the only person that doesn't vote in Henry County. So did you vote?
I did.
Okay. So your poll workers,
Yes.
do they have their party affiliation on them at any point? Like on their, like in Henry County, and this is just normal, but somebody posted about this on Facebook and they were losing their mind. I'm like, this is just, Henry County has always done this.
You have a judge from each side.
A judge from each side, and those people have a button or like a name badge that says Democrat or Republican. And these people were triggered by this. Does Rush County identify themselves as such?
To tell you the truth, I knew who the judges were, and I know exactly how.
What party? But it's not all. It's not.
I didn't pay attention to see if they had the art.
That's just always been the thing. And I was like, I think they do that so that you know that there's there's people from both sides. And they're like, well, it's an endorsement. I'm like, it's not an endorsement. They're wearing, it doesn't say what party or whatever.
Yeah, I voted early and voted often.
Try other counties too.
Yeah.
Go up to Knightstown.
You got 3 votes in Knightstown.
You cost Bart that race.
Congrats, Carla. Bones is on your side. You can't get to Knightstown from Rush County right now. The bridge is closed.
That's true.
You have to ford the river. You get a kayak involved and then climb a hill.
Bank. Yeah.
Indiana State Senate. Obviously, we had the massive redistricting fight last year. $13 million of outside money was spent on 7-ish, maybe 8 state Senate races that were folks that did not vote the way the president wanted you to. 5 of the challengers that the president endorsed did win. A lot of pundits said maybe 2 to 3 would win. That's pretty impressive. Greg Good, who was probably the most...
He was like public enemy number 1 of that group, wasn't he?
He was the most visible of the I am not voting for redistricting. He was, I think, one of the first people to have the swatting attempts against him. He survived, as did Spencer Deary, who I believe was a staffer for one of our former governors. So those guys survived. Potentially, this is going to be enough switches to mean that Rod Bray, who is the Senate Majority Leader, that there could be a change in leadership in the Senate next year.
Kind of came out and just said he wanted new leadership today.
Yeah, he doesn't want Bray. Will 5 seats, and obviously people have to go through a general election in the fall.
Braun's not going to contest all that money coming in.
Here's my question: as the complete lack of political voice on this show, does it make those seats that Trump came in and bought? Does it make those seats very weak?
I wonder how much external blue money is going to come into the state now.
That's why I'm asking.
There are so few places Democrats can win on the state Senate side right now that I think this is very trouble. I think these are very likely still Republican holds. I don't know that any of these places are going to be flips.
Just asking.
I'd be shocked. But I'm also, I've been shocked a lot in these results. I think
so those 5 seats were a surprise. Those 5 seats that were taken out was 82 years in the state house.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Buck had been there since the 1980s. And I had this conversation with Brian Nichols earlier. He's like, well, maybe some of these folks, this is the primaries are supposed to, get the party back to purity. And I'm like, some of these folks had a pulse. They were not necessarily trying to run, wanting to win. They were recruiting anybody they thought that lived in a district that would make sense.
District 19 up Fort Wayne, Bluffton, Wells County area. Travis Holdman against Blake Fichter. Blake Fichter actually dropped out of the race verbally in March.
Yeah.
For a few weeks, said, nope, I don't have the heart for it. I'm out of it. Comes back in and takes out Holdman.
The president had tweeted his name and said, he's like, I wasn't running, but I guess I will. And then he's like, this is way more than I thought it was going to be. Dropped out and then got back in and did win. Jim Buck is 80-something years old. He's been in the Senate since the 80s, Senate and the House.
Yeah, maybe he had a foot out the door anyways.
He got painted as an out-of-touch liberal by a bunch of money on Indianapolis TV, and people said, hell yeah, we'll make another difference. Or we'll make a change. I don't know that it was redistricting. The redistricting wasn't in the ads that beat Jim Buck. It was, hey, this old geezer of a guy that reminds you of Joe Biden needs to go.
Because they wouldn't have pounded on the redistricting because most of those people that, like even our local reps, that said, I'm not voting for this because they were telling everybody, my constituents are telling me that they don't want this. So so it makes sense. You're just gonna, and the label thing is just, call them a lib.
So
it scares them all away.
And they pull out every somewhat liberal vote they would have been in favor of anytime they've been in office.
You can build that case. We could find statements Forrest Plank has made on the show and make him an incredible MAGA conservative. Or we could make him a flaming liberal. We just have to isolate certain bits.
You never know.
Then I think if you're a normal human
Sometimes
being, you've
people
got
vote to raise taxes.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm working on that button. I couldn't get it done before the show. I'm working on the button. I'm afraid if I mess with it now, that it'll cause the show to crash. Because this laptop
kind of worth it
is running on like an inch of its life to run the show. Even it's like if I keep stuff open. But yeah, I have. So if you listened last week and you heard me make a comment about isolating some audio, I did, and it's just me. I just need to get it put on the board. Oh my gosh, it'll be on there.
We found more audio to isolate this show too. Someone said he was wrong.
Yep. Oh, I was wrong, 100%.
Words we don't hear.
Greg Walker lost, by the way, in his Senate race.
That was the Walker you were thinking.
Yeah. Walker lost.
Clint, you've been saved.
Walker lost to Davis. $13 million was spent in anger because they wanted to win more House seats.
Through cheating.
$13 million spent on trying to beat Frank Mervan in Porter and Lake County in the region with a very plausible candidate might have been enough. Mervan it was a 55-45 race last time up there. Why the hell can't you just spend that money and win up there that way and not change the playing field and win another seat?
I mean, this one,
I don't know if you would throw $13 million of red money in that corner of the state if you would still win it.
Maybe.
I think you could.
Maybe.
I'm curious as to, like Bones was asking, are those seats weak? I don't think they're weak to against Democrats, but if I were those people, I'd be a little concerned about my chances of reelection in the next primary because nobody's thrown $13 million in this part of the state in 2 years. So you won in theory based on the fact that on average they were getting almost $2 million a piece in money thrown at them. Yeah.
Okay, say all these people win in the fall. Does the redistricting thing come back up?
It's too late.
That comes into, and this is going to be an interesting thing at some point, and it's going to start with the midterms. We as a country are going to have to start transitioning into the post-Trump era because he's lame duck for the next 2 years.
Are we sure about that?
Yeah. I mean, at one point, one of his orchestrated assassination attempts is going to just go haywire and work at this point if he keeps trying. And
Zach speaks for Zach.
Yeah, I do. But
quote unquote orchestrated.
Let's hope that we're moving on, and moving on simply because he's out of office and cannot seek re-election because the president is term limited and not because of anything bad to happen.
That's
to
the
him.
plain text of the Constitution that I understand.
Yep.
All right, you guys done with politics?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna close the PDF then. Hey, Bones.
Yes.
Something Bones actually knows about.
The Kentucky Derby was on.
My bank account says I do not. Okay.
The Kentucky Derby was on Friday. No, Saturday.
No, Friday.
The Oaks was Saturday. Thurby was on Thursday.
Wednesday was on Wednesday.
I was in Louisville Wednesday.
I didn't know they had Arabian races on Wednesday. That's kind of.
I think that's kind of racist.
Well,
Rush County, everyone.
You could take me out, but you just can never really.
I had a purebred Arabian horse once.
God, they're mean.
They are not smooth. They're bumpy. You picked the damn winner on this show. You said, "Hey, you guys want a long shot? Take Polka Dot or whatever it was."
I said that Golden Tempo was my live long shot, and that I had an opinion.
I was all excited about 6-speed, by the way.
I should have stayed with my opinion. Unfortunately, my brain works in really fucked up ways at times. And I talked myself off that ledge and just used him on a bunch of on the undersides of supers and try tickets. And he won.
He won the damn race. And came along at out of nowhere.
Yeah. Which I told you he was going to do that. He's going to pick off a bunch of horses. I just didn't think he'd get to the front. And he did.
Came out of turn 4 and was
first.
At the very back of the pack.
I mean, at one point, he wasn't even on the screen. He was so far back.
And that's the MO of the horse?
That's that horse.
That's what that horse does. Had a little bit of a scary moment. The gigantic friggin' horse.
Yes.
Reared up, flipped over, landed on its back. The jockey got away, but last minute scratch.
Fun fact: the jockey's he rides mostly at Shelbyville too. So if anybody wants to try to drive that back into Indiana, there's your connections. But the horse is fine. Jockey's fine. It's a little heartbreaking for
as far
as
we know. The horse is fine.
Horse is definitely fine. I saw him out doing morning works today on my FanDuel account.
Okay.
And as of right now, he may be in the Preakness, which will be in a couple of weeks.
All right. That's in Maryland. That's and then we go to Saratoga.
Yes, for the last year at Saratoga for Belmont, because Belmont is under construction still.
You know, they rebuilt Louisville like every which way and still kept horses running there.
Well, New York things work a little differently, I guess. You should know. You're from there.
Gotta grease the palms. Indy GPs this weekend, Zach.
Yep.
You ready?
I can't wait.
Is your camper all hooked up?
Yeah.
Ready to roll in?
Loaded. I need to load my shoe bag, which I can't really do until, running shoes, whatever shoes I'm going to get wet in the morning and in the tall grass. And then my walk around shoes, whatever.
How many pair of running shoes will you take with you? Just one?
I only run one pair. I've never been a rotated guy. I run until 500 miles and tap them out.
500. Wow.
Yeah. I'm cheap.
Do we we stick with a certain brand?
I've been doing Brooks glycerins for a while. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've run Asics before, but then I had a pair I loved and they discontinued that model. And I was like, yeah.
Have you ever seen the Brooks that are waterproof?
What do they call those? I don't run any of that because I don't like trail race. I don't really care to run the rain either.
I'm saying your everyday shoe could be the Brook.
Oh, no, my everyday shoe, I have a pair of them on right now. I have 3 pairs of these. They're Under Armour. I put, what are they called? Jeff Watterson would remember. I put the laces on them that you don't have to tie. And like I said, I've got 3 pair in various stages of disrepair. So this pair is currently like my mowing. I'm going to be in the mud, and I have a clean pair, and that's what I wear to like work, cross country, track meet, stuff like that.
I have the same thing because I go through shoes.
The Caterpies.
Just like
Caterpies, yeah, Caterpie. I
Caterpie
put green.
laces.
They're like they're white gray with green trim. And I put green Caterpies on them. I set them on my third pair. They're like $55. They're fine for walking around. And if I'm like at a cross country meet and I'm running around, I put on my running shoes and then I run around in my running shoes. But
The
shoes make all the difference.
I love like a good comfy pair. Just beat around shoes.
Yeah.
Fantasy IndyCar is happening again. We haven't had an IndyCar race since like April
Oh,
14th.
gotta remember to check my
It's
lineup.
been forever.
Yep. And
Sure,
I think this is like the 5th or 6th race of the year. So you got a lot of people that need to re-up on their drivers, or
And
there's going to be some people
somebody-
fall like a rock.
Maybe in the top 20.
Andrew Nemhard is an Indiana Pacer,
Oh.
but he's also getting to race on Saturday. At least the first when they say, "Gentlemen, start your engines," he's in the fastest seat in sports. How do they fit an NBA
I'm
player?
curious. That's the first thing I thought is how you
in
fit
IndyCar.
an NBA player in it. His head's gonna be like above the roll hoop.
Tice Carlson used to fit in a car.
That was a
Justin
width
Wilson
issue.
fit
Have you
in a
ever been
car.
in a 2-seater though?
No.
They are not. There's no leg room. Literally there is. You're sitting in it with your feet and your butt on the same level, and you're curled up like if you were, probably like a bobsledder, but you can't put your feet next to the driver. There is a fiberglass wall between you and the back seat of the
You
driver.
can't go bobsled where you wrap your legs around them.
You can't wrap your legs around people.
Well, Andrew's what? 6'4"? Right?
If he's 6'4", then that he'll be fine. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's-
Nemhard is 6 feet 4 inches.
Oh, that he'll be fine then because
He's a
I'm
point guard.
6'3" and I've been in the back seat of a 2-seater. But it's not comfortable. Yeah, you're not. There's not like a footwell. There's just a flat wall in front of you. So you're kind of crammed in there.
I love the on-air interviews while they're taking that lap.
It's 50-50 on whether or not they can communicate any thoughts,
But that's
and
the
hear anybody.
That's the fun part of it. Is as a matter of fact, it's more fun the less coherent they are. Because I think it also is good for TV because it shows, oh, this is like actually a real thing. Sometimes they start screaming expletives. They have to beep them. And that's a good time.
I like it when they just get all giggly.
Yeah.
Yep, excited for that. So it's a Mother's Day is Sunday. IndyCar races on Saturday. All your practice and qualifying happens on Friday. That's why Zach and I are moving to Speedway, Indiana tomorrow morning, and why you have a show today instead of Thursday. Montreal won a playoff series for the first time in many, many, many years in hockey. They're playing now. We have it on. They're playing against Buffalo. The Sabres have them 4-2. So it's not aging well, but Montreal had a win, and that was important. Over on the other podcast, on the
Playbook?
Playbook podcast, I always want to say the Playmakers, and that was a show.
Yeah.
The Playbook podcast, I did pick Montreal to be my team in the NC and God
NHL.
and the NC
And whatever tournament they're playing.
I'm running on fumes,
Is the
boys.
family the Buffalo for Buffalo?
Yeah,
or
they are.
Montreal?
So it's a split.
Hmm.
My uncle here, he's
The Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Okay.
But he's a Vikings fan. It's not like his Bills fan. He's not an all Buffalo fan. But there's a lot of the family that's also Montreal Canadiens fans.
Okay.
Go Habs. So it's a house divided, a family divided over there.
Country divided.
In the country. I chose my side of the trade war. I'd like to see Montreal win. All right. That's that. Final thoughts. Forrest, welcome back, man.
Thanks.
You look so good. You ran the mini. You've been to China and back.
Yeah.
Thank you for serving our country.
You're just doing the work of Jim Baker, man. How did you get there from here to China?
On a plane?
You got on
On
the
a big plane?
and it.
Did you take the G6?
Did
or?
you ask?
No,
Did you ask the pilot how you did it? It's like, big travel like this. I watched. I've never traveled out of the country unless I was on a ship, or in my truck. Indiana Jones did a lot of puddle jumping, getting from island to island. How does a guy do this now
So
to go to Asia?
Indy to Detroit, Detroit to Shanghai. It's nonstop flight to Shanghai. You go up over Canada, hit up over Alaska, Bering Strait, hit the far eastern edge of Russian airspace.
They don't make you skip Russia. You're
and
allowed to fly over it.
You turn south, and then you cut over Japan into Shanghai.
Do you ever wonder at what point you went from flying north to flying south?
No, it's a really weird dynamic when you're flying there because it's daylight the entire time, and it's a 15-hour flight. So you leave Detroit at 11 a.m. one day, and you land in Shanghai at almost 3 p.m. the next day.
And it was never dark.
So let me guess, you were 1F on the way there and
No.
3C on the way
No,
back.
I was row 24 and 25.
Window seat?
No, I took aisle seats.
You weren't middle seat.
So is there an
No.
actual like turn at Russian airspace, or is that just when you naturally start to curve back down?
I think there is a turn.
They like active. Is
because
there
it-
active avoiding
'cause
of that space?
you can
It's
see
so
the
expensive
flight
to fly
path
through
that
Russia.
Oh, that's
you can see the flight path of going west, and then
just there's a turn.
Yep.
So they go as far as they can following, and
Yeah.
then they avoid hostilities.
Have you ever seen
one
like,
flight
the map
gets
with all
shot
the
down over
airplanes?
Russia, and everyone
Russia's
avoids it
just a
now.
blank space because it's so expensive to fly through Russian airspace.
Why they pull you over and ask for to shake you down?
I think, something like that.
Did you find any good General Tso's chicken while you were over there?
I did not. I ate some really good food though. Some of it I don't know what it was, but it was really good. And surprisingly, some of the best tacos that I've ever eaten were in China.
When people couldn't understand you, did you repeat yourself and speak louder?
No, because they're just accustomed. Like, you stand out as a big fat white American, so they just automatically get their phone out and they speak into it and they hold their phone in front of you.
All right. So you just play the Google Translate game.
Yeah. Well, it's not Google over there. Google's not allowed.
Yeah.
Were you allowed to use Google? Does Google work on your phone?
I
or
did.
you-
I used Google via cellular. You could not use Google on any Wi-Fi
Really?
unless you're running through a VPN.
In which case, there probably would have been like a black SUV pull up. Did you when you were there? Was there a different vibe in terms of because they're communists, but they're communists with a lot of capitalists.
They're
leanings.
crony communists.
They're real. I mean, if they can make a buck, they're making a buck. But was there like a feeling of, oh yeah, I'm in a country where friendliness was only going to go so far, and it's probably a bit of a facade based on my behavior?
No, you can definitely tell that it's a class society, that there's a very large segment of very poor, and then there's a ton of wealth.
Just
So you didn't stick out like a sore thumb at all. You just kind of blended right in.
oh no, he
No.
sent us pictures of like Rolls Royces and stuff, and
I saw 12 Maybachs in the week that I was in China, between Suzhou and Shanghai.
Forrest is like, I am home.
I had seen one in my life in 45 and a half years, or
Just like
however
sitting in
old
your
I am.
driveway.
I had seen one in my life, and I saw 12 in a week. The cars were incredible. Their EV market is unbelievable. They're beautiful.
yeah, legal rules and tariffs are the only reason that they haven't absolutely steamrolled the American EV market and the car market, likely.
So their minivans, I would drive a minivan if we could have their hybrids and EV minivans here. The middle seat, instead of just having captain seats, there's zero gravity seats. Full massage, you name it. It's pretty cool.
Did you get some bidet time?
Yes. You didn't even have to touch the seat. You walked up and the seat would raise for you. You walked
it
in
was
the
one of those
hotel room.
Smart toilets.
Yep. You walked in the hotel room. The lights came on. The blinds raised. It was pretty wild.
Have you been to Japan too?
No.
I wonder how those two cultures compare in terms of, because obviously, like, I think they're both on the front edge of tech, but they're obviously very different governments and how they operate. And because you hear the same thing about Japan and like a lot of automation, toilets are crazy technology and stuff like that.
So I think what surprised me was we hear all the talk about how polluted China is. The air quality every day that I was in China was better than it was here. The cleanliness of the streets, the sidewalks, there was not a piece of trash on the road, no graffiti, no sign of any homelessness, friendly people, traffic. There are cars everywhere, but friendly drivers, so that they have a social credit score that they're monitored, and it's forced compliance, and it works.
Gosh, can you imagine?
Oh God!
If we had a social credit score in the United States,
we would be a bankrupt nation.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
But that credit score will prevent people from getting on the bullet train and going back home. So a lot of people don't live in the town they work in. They travel there for work and then they return home on the weekend. Well, if their social credit score gets dinged too much, they're not getting on the train to go back home. If they want to get an apartment, they're not getting an apartment. So you're surveilled everywhere you go. They knew every step I was taking when I was in country. I swear to that. You go out walking around the lake, there are cameras probably every 100 yards.
You should email them and say, hey, can you give me a video of my trip? And they just give you a trip. And they give you a video from the moment you landed in the country to the moment you left. And there's just one video just cut after cut.
Hey, how many steps did I take when I was there?
Yeah.
Well, let me calculate.
I mean, I think that they, as a
Plank, you may have a limp. You should go see your doctor.
I mean, they did make him to some extent, but I think they pretty much skipped to an extent that internal combustion engine production on cars. They started to make that stuff, and then they immediately were just oh, we're going EV. So they're going crazy on this stuff.
Their license plates indicate whether it's an EV or an internal combustion. It's probably 50-50. So 50-50 green plates.
Well, they tell you to do it, and then you do it.
Well, welcome back home, Forrest.
Thank you.
It's going to be a very special month of May. We're excited for you. We're glad you're here today. I know you'll be with us on the race week episode.
Yep.
We're jumping all over the calendar this month, but
watch this space, people.
Yeah, we'll get there. Mr. Zach, Christmas is here.
Yeah.
You're not counting the days to when the Indy 500 is. You're counting the days to tomorrow.
I enjoyed and then talking to you, Chris, I enjoyed the whole month. And the mini really does kick it off for me in multiple ways because I get to do the mini, and then all of a sudden I have a bunch of free time because I'm not running as much. I don't take the week off, but I'm running a mile or two a day, so I've got free time. The weather is very spring-like here, a little stormy, but it's cool. But it's been it feels like spring, feels like the track. Got the flag out. It's I get to be at the track this weekend. And it's I can't wait.
The passion you two talk about this it's contagious.
It's
a good thing,
man.
Yeah.
It's a picture of springtime.
I soaked up. One of the funny things about the mini is you talk to a lot of people that run the mini, and there are people that love the mini. They hate the track. They hate it, and the track is my favorite part. It's my favorite part of that race because I get to run around the Speedway. The Gold Star Mile is a little rough on the emotions because they have a bunch of pictures of service members who've died since 2001 along the back straightaway with family members and stuff. But you come out of the tunnel, the museum's there, the fountain's going. I run by, looked up at my seats. They're about to cover them up because they're in the North Short Chute with the tarps for the GP weekend. You come around and I'm running down the front straightaway. There's the pagoda. There's pit lane. It's all set up for rev and stuff. And I was it's my favorite part. And it also takes up a chunk of the race. So you come out of it and you're almost done. But I love to just be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Even though it didn't have to be race day, just to be at the track is one of my favorite places in the world. I park at the south end or North 40 or in the turn 3, and there's shuttles that run you around. I don't take the shuttle. I walk Holman Boulevard. I just soak up walking down Holman Boulevard when it's oval setup, not road course. You can't do it on the road course weekend, but
you could try.
You might get hit.
If you put on a catering outfit like they did in St. Pete.
Might get hit by Grosjean hit that bird.
I think it was Arlington.
Oh, Arlington, where they...
the Arlington GP.
Yeah.
Random question. When do they shut the golf course down?
They don't.
So people
race day they won't be on.
Yeah, because they're
throughout the month of May they are running the golf course.
Yeah, because they're running.
They were playing that morning. Then I would assume.
I've seen them playing on not 8500 day necessarily, but I've seen qualifications day. You'll see people.
I don't remember
golf.
seeing anybody playing during the mini Saturday morning.
That's why. Yeah, I was just curious if that was.
Yeah, they might have had to shut that down just because you couldn't get in.
Yeah,
you had to come in off 16th Street.
The exit for the mini is probably through. Yeah,
it's
through the golf course.
You come out the gate at the exit of turn 2, and you go behind the suites and pop out there. And and then you run down to So I don't think that there was a way to get into the golf course because of the way
they have to close it until
they have to close it down.
the race course is
That's
closed.
pretty much why they don't run it on the 500 day either.
Yeah.
Well, that and they're taking off and landing helicopters.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the
I was
golf
going to say
course.
that is because Forrest arrives on the fairway right outside the track.
No, I do not.
He's got a big contingent this year. It's going to be a Huey this time. The planks will be arriving.
I
by
wish.
Huey. I'm right there with you, Zach. Arrival day tomorrow with the Speedway is one of my favorites. We have a tradition where a friend of the show, Joey Molinaro, and his family will go to breakfast with us. Zach will be there, and then we get to go to the credentials office and pick up our credentials for the month of May, get our bronze badges, our little hard card that gets us on the grid for the Indy 500 race morning. Special day.
Yeah. I mean, I love downtown Speedway. I love the town.
So I think that's probably my favorite part of the Mini is just running down Main Street Speedway.
Main Street Speedway has turned into a jump. It's a great place to be. There's a lot, and it's mile 5. And you come around, and there are a couple thousand people probably along Main Street.
And the course really narrows because people keep stepping in.
Yeah, and so I felt really good. And that was when I was chatting with people. I ran into some people I knew, and chatted with one person was from out of town, and then one person was Richard Chu. Those people, Daniel Chu, the appliance guy, it's his dad. Chatted with him for a little bit. So it's like, Speedway's great. Love Speedway. Love the town. Love the track. Love it all.
Jerry, you want to walk next year?
We'll see.
Okay.
I might have a stroller.
Hey,
Strollers are not allowed.
Find a way around that. There's got to be a way. They have people though.
we'll have Sarah meet us
We will see.
with the stroller.
We
child.
will
crashing the course.
see. Mr. Bones?
I talked to the guys at BobLink the other day, so watch their Facebook page of the Eagle Rare Pick. Should be in any day.
Ooh,
Any
boy.
day now.
My great bourbon.
I don't have anything else.
We are back Tuesday of next week because in the month of May, we can't do anything easy. I don't remember why it's on Tuesday next week, but it's there for a reason, and that's what my calendar says. So damn it, that's what we're doing. I don't know anymore. I think it was easier because of days we were traveling and not traveling. Thank you so much to the candidates for coming and being a part of this. I have been on the losing end, and Forrest, you have as well.
Yep.
And I texted a lot of people. I didn't get to everybody. We had a family event going on Tuesday night.
Congratulations to Hannah, by the way.
Oh yeah, my sister won the primary to be the Posey Township Rush County Township trustee. 100 and some votes. So congratulations to her. She was very upset with me. She's like, I was trying to tell nobody that I was running at all. And then I wished her good luck. She was unopposed. She does not necessarily have a candidate in the fall. It's somebody in the fall, but she did have the most votes of anybody in her township. So the township
I
board
did
race
see
is
that.
in hers. She was P1. So Hannah Davis is on the ballot in Rush County. The first Morrell to win an election. All she had to do is change her name to something other than Morrell, and it worked out.
Broke the family curse.
She broke the family curse. Frances Lewis has lost. Joyce Morrell has lost. I've lost 3 times. Hannah has broken through.
We found the winner in the family.
Despite Jeremiah trying to throw his endorsement behind her.
The least political of us all, and she is. Her husband. We were all hanging out, and her husband's like, she's going to serve for 50 years. This is going to be terrible.
This is your life now.
This is
You're
it.
the spouse of an elected official.
Yeah. So yeah, we are excited about that for her. But man, these folks came through. They worked really hard. You don't get the thanks that you probably are due for running, or if you do win, doing the job. You catch a lot of arrows. They don't pay. These jobs don't pay very well, other than a select few. And it's people that are doing it out of service for their community. They make really difficult decisions. There's a lot of times where it's not an easy decision either way. It's really easy to armchair quarterback and say, "Oh, this is the way it should go. That's the way it should go." Everybody's human. We are not perfect. None of the candidates that were here are perfect, but they're all doing their very best. And I will always say that candidates benefit from other candidates. The conversations we have here around the table as you see them form relationships with each other and go through the process of going to town forums, breakfasts, debates, whatever the functions are, all of those together make the winner better for the community.
Yep.
And it kind of becomes a little bit of a fraternal organization or a brotherhood of the political class, of the people that show up at everything and do things. And you find yourself, I'm excited when you see somebody new that gets involved and shows up and does that. And then, as I've said, I hope that these folks stay involved and continue. And even if they didn't win today, that doesn't mean they're not going to win later. It's just not their season right now. But they should all be thanked for running and being a part of the process and trying to make our community better.
Yep. And Jeremiah, thanks to you for putting this platform out there. You know, as the candidate, I was new to the community when I ran, and I didn't know anybody. And this was a chance for me to get on and share my voice for what my vision was for the race that I was running. And so the League of Women Voters Forum, things like that are really the only opportunities. You can get on social media, but only your network's only so big in the area.
You find yourself talking to the same close circle.
Yes. So to be able to bring so many races on and have all the candidates sit in the chair and actually share what their vision is for the seat, answer the tough questions, maybe squash some of the rumors, it's a great vehicle.
Yeah. Listen, there's no tougher question than the childhood celebrity crush. Okay.
You caught some arrows for that yourself. You caught some arrows for those, and people saying, is this what we're really doing, what we're really talking about? But it is telling, and they do tell you something about a candidate, the way their brain works, the things they're interested in. I will say that you brought something to the candidate series with your questions when you didn't have dental emergencies, and they were very helpful to the process.
Wasn't it this seat over here that answered Pamela Anderson?
No, it might have been over here. I can't remember. Yeah. You know what, though? We want to know if they're people. And so it's really easy to kind of be prepped for questions. And there are some people that can really talk real well. And then you ask them a question that they aren't prepared for, and they answer it, and they can win you over or absolutely lose you just like that over. And you think that's an insignificant question, but no, like the way that somebody answers the question can tell you a lot about how they think, what they're thinking. Like you can figure out, this person's been very polished, and they answer this question in a way that tells me that they're an absolute monster of a human being.
Or are they genuine?
Yeah. Yeah. So because some people really thought that question out, or So those questions are good because you want to elect people because they need to act like human beings and treat people well and stuff. So, yeah.
So, I've been absent since the first couple.
Praise Jesus.
Sorry, Bones. Not really. So after the shows have ended with some of the later ones, did anybody reveal that they had watched the earlier ones?
A couple people did.
To plan for
there were a number.
What may be the off-the-wall question?
There were a number that were prepared but hadn't heard all of the episodes, and Bones had mixed in enough questions. They were like, I wasn't prepared for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because the first couple, we went through all of them, and then I'll call them out. The attorneys talked so much.
They're attorneys. That's what they're paid to do.
Me and Zach sat back there and go, we're never going to get
grossly underestimates what happens when you lock 5 attorneys in a room with microphones. Like the intros took 35 minutes. And so we were like, we got to cut these back. So if they had prepped for 1 or 2, they didn't know that's the 1 or 2 they were going to get. Because Bones or whoever, because I read him a timer, we're just pulling them out of our butt. Just pick 2. We just pick 2 of them and go through. So So after the first round, I think it started to turn into a little bit of random fire from his bank of questions, but they didn't know which one they were going to get. I don't think anybody really came off as if they were, I thought about this, and they were ready to go.
Guys, it's been a wonderful series. Thank you so much to Wyland's Flowers, Ink and Ale, and Muncie Farm and Fleet Repair. This concludes the May primary series. It is now the race month of May. We will see you on Tuesday night.